What is going on, everybody? Welcome back once again to another episode of the 4 Point Play podcast. I sincerely hope that clap I just did doesn't ruin this entire audio, but we'll live with that. So there's a lot going on since we spoke last. The NBA is a crazy wild place. Um, People dropping 50 points willy nilly like never before. James Harden already in playoff form playing against it's really a crazy world that we live
Vintage
in.
Harden coming back.
Vintage Harden.
Big game,
and also
James.
vintage LeBron carrying some garbage ass team, doing his best, not getting back on defense.
You know the vibes.
Bro, he did get back on defense almost as many times as he scored 50-point games, bro.
Almost
as many times.
Not quite.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're here and we just gotta talk about it. So what do y'all want to get to first?
We might as well talk about LeBron first. We brought it up.
We need our LeBron. Get our LeBron segment out
Our
the way.
weekly LeBron segment. What do you have to say for yourself, Kyle?
Yeah, you go first.
I mean, honestly, dude, like, I think that he heard the podcast because
Oh yeah.
he knew that I was.
He was one of our
upset.
6 views.
Yeah, I was a little upset with like how he's been not really taking basketball that seriously. You know, just kind of hanging out. And he decided to come out and say that if he wants to carry the bums, he's gonna have to score 50.
Oh, he said
And
that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he did. He told the camp actually.
I want to carry these bumps.
The camp members knew. Me and Rich were talking about it dinner the other night. But no. But in all seriousness, I think that he's realizing that if they actually want to like make the play-in tournament, he's gonna have to do this. So I don't know. I think he can keep it up. I'm just a little worried. I don't want any like circa Kobe 2014 where he just like plays 48 minutes and then like tears his Achilles.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I mean, like he is old. I know he doesn't seem like it, but like he's old.
Yeah.
Like so.
I don't think you have to worry about him playing 48 minutes.
Yeah.
He might. I mean, he's been playing 40.
I have a question for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Do you think he actually wants to make the play-in game? Do you think he actually cares?
I think that he does because of the legacy implications. I think that like if they make the play-in, I have pretty much utmost confidence that like he'll win a play-in game and then they'll just lose in the first round again. So like I think that he would rather have that happen than just not make the playoffs at all. But like in all honesty, if AD doesn't come back or if AD's not 100%, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like,
won't be 100%.
I mean,
yeah.
I think that missing the playoffs entirely when he's healthy is not something that he's gonna like allow to happen probably. But,
Yeah, I feel like that even if he doesn't care that much about making it that far, because it's not really that much in his control anymore, I feel like just missing it altogether is rough.
Exactly, and he knows like they're not going to make any noise at all unless AD is 100% and he does this the entire playoffs, which is like a possibility. But I think that missing the playoffs entirely would be like a really bad look.
Yeah, well, AD is coming back. They said that he's resumed.
He's coming back, but I'm saying like in terms of like what he's going to be.
I mean, is AD like ever 100%? Like
no.
The one situation where he was like the bubble because he was resting before, but like other than that, he's like really never been 100%. So
AD is a 28-year-old who has the body of a 45-year-old man. So
45-year-old
day-to-day Davis,
Giant. Street clothes,
street clothes, glass man.
But yeah, I mean, I hope he comes back soon because you see the Pelicans and the Trailblazers.
I'm not too worried about the Pelicans.
Breathing down their neck.
Really?
You're not worried about the Pels?
I'd be worried about the Pels, bro.
I'm not that worried about the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a lot of worries in my life. Pelicans might not be one of them.
For the Lakers, they just lost an overtime game to the Rockets, which that's
and they just got blown out by like 30 points last night by the Suns. They were down 30 in the first quarter.
Well, the Suns are way better than the Lakers, so that's one thing.
But the scary part though about that game yesterday is kind of like what Eli was saying about like getting back on defense. Like it's like a bad look, but like he just did not care at all.
Yeah.
Like in games like that when they're playing an opponent who like is in that category, which I think there's like 5 or 6 teams probably. They're like in the Suns level. That's just like they have no chance at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they really don't.
I don't know.
I mean, not with the roster they have currently, because their second best player right now is Malik Monk.
Malik Monk.
Yeah.
And I think that like there's a lot of jokes about Russ and like people like making jokes and shit, but like in all honesty, like they have to stop playing him.
Yeah.
Like, they have like they have to.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna work.
Saw a statistic on an internet forum today that Russell Westbrook is shooting 9% from 3 since the All-Star break.
Wow.
He had 5 points. He had 5 points.
9%.
On
Yeah.
Friday.
2 for 22.
Wow.
There was
Yeah.
a shot yesterday.
It's funny. Oh, sorry, Zion. One more thing, and then I'll get off my soapbox. So I was listening to something today. Ryan Russillo and Bill Simmons were talking, and they were talking.
I was going to mention the same thing. I think.
Yeah, they were talking about like how like shot difficulty and like what the shots that people take, and they were talking about how Katie and DeMar this season have taken the most difficult shots because like bailing the team out and like last second like you're gonna if you have 3 seconds on the shot clock you're gonna give it to Katie, so like he's gonna take a lot of hard shots. Russell Westbrook takes the second easiest, most uncontested shots out of every player this year, and yet still shoots a terrible percentage.
Yeah, he has
So,
the
like,
worst like efficiency. Like out of
Yes.
all the players who qualify for that, which is
And
like
nobody guards
crazy,
him.
and he takes the
And nobody
best
guards
shots
him.
out of everyone
Yes.
else.
It's like 16-foot elbow jumpers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're
it's
always open because people don't guard him
No.
outside of like the paint at all. So he's taking
No.
a lot of open jumpers.
I was watching
make any of that.
the
It's
Suns
just really
game,
rough.
bro. Russell Westbrook was driving, and Austin motherfucking Reeves was in the right hand corner, and they put 2 men on Reeves. And that's
The double
No way.
Reeves.
I
Damn.
feel like
No
that.
way.
That just exemplifies it all. But
That
yeah,
is
so I don't know.
Rough times for the Lakers.
Very rough.
But LeBron, I think he's leading the league in scoring now,
Yeah,
I think he's
right.
0.2 off. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
which
0.2 above
is
not
Jonas.
insane in itself.
Yeah.
Like 37-year-old LeBron.
and I mean
leading
the
the league in
30, 10, and
scoring.
10 club is like pretty dope.
Yeah.
But
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I said this last time or a few episodes ago, maybe every time, but like, can they even really beat the Clippers?
I don't
They
think
can
so.
beat they can beat the Clippers. They can.
I don't
I mean, it
think so.
depends.
Tyree
like,
got,
if PG
Tyree got the
plays,
blueprint,
or-
bro.
Yeah,
he got
bro.
he got the download.
I mean, I guess we haven't seen them beat the Clippers, so
I think they can beat the Clippers. I don't know.
we'll see.
It
We'll
might
see.
be,
And they beat the Pelicans.
They beat the
I think they
about
can beat the
that.
Pelicans.
I don't think they can beat the
I
Pelicans.
think it really. I mean, I think they would beat the Pelicans.
Is
But
Zion
who
coming
knows?
back? CJ's back from COVID.
Oh, if Zion's
First player
gonna
to get
play?
COVID in like
Yeah.
Is Zion about to play?
Is Zion gonna play?
He's ramping
I mean,
up, bro.
he's
He's back in
practicing.
New
He's
Orleans.
ripping up.
I mean,
He's in
walking
New
now,
Orleans.
yes.
He's doing full
He is-
activities.
He is walking on the court. That is facts.
He's there.
And he looks in
Yeah.
kind of like in better shape. I mean, like if
He
80,
looks like he's always looked.
yeah,
Looks like Zion.
The Zion fat thing was way overblown. I've said this the whole time.
He was overweight.
he was overweight for a while, dude.
He was overweight.
He's overweight in general.
But I
He
feel
weighs
like his
300 pounds.
him being overweight has definitely made his injury problems worse, and I think that's like what everyone usually
Probably.
says. I feel like that's
Yeah.
like the main concern. That's like with
I mean, when
Embiid
you-
too, because he was
Yeah.
more overweight like in the beginning of his career, and that's when he had like even more injuries than he does now. So I think that's
think
like what
if
people are
he's-
saying about Zion.
I think no matter how much he weighs, if he is cleared to play and he is healthy enough to play, he will average like 27. and
That's
6.
true. But
Yeah.
imagine if he was in good shape, he would average like 30,
Sure,
and
I'm
he would
just
play
saying,
all season probably.
that's fine. But he doesn't have to play one season. He has to play the playing game.
I guess that's
He's
Yeah,
true.
I
like-
guess
I
you're
mean,
right. Yeah.
if they make the
Do
playing
Do
game,
you
then-
think the Lakers can beat that
Nick goes
team?
back for the
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
If Zion is-
LeBron's
if,
dropping
like-
50,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I don't think
Is
he's
Is
gonna
Zion
leave
dropping
yet
50 in the playing game? No,
after not playing for
Maybe.
a year.
no.
Just comes back first game.
It's
drops
not like that's
50
gonna
on
be.
LeBron.
I don't think that'll be his first game. But like,
But is there a timetable? I mean, there's only a month left in the season.
Yeah, the last game is April 10th. So if,
But that would be
No.
his like first postseason game, right?
yeah, like post. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
Well, no. Yeah. Yes.
the bubble doesn't count.
yeah. So
So, wait, not for that. You know what I?
I mean, they only played the 8 games like in the regular
Yeah,
season.
he played the 8
Yeah.
games and they
Oh,
lost like every one of them.
that's what you meant. Oh, word. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the bubble doesn't count
Before-
like in the normal way too, but like in
Oh,
both
word.
ways.
I literally meant the 8 games played before the bubble playoffs did not count
Real quick,
as
though,
the postseason.
what you said about Zion and like losing weight and stuff like that, dude, it's definitely possible. This man Luka lost 30 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like,
possible
a
for
month.
sure. And
Yeah,
and
like,
Jokic
it's
is
been-
in so much better shape than he was like at the beginning
And
of his career.
Yeah, and Zion is like such a better athlete than Luka is. I'm sure that he like could
For
lose that
sure.
weight so much faster.
It's all about
I
like
really-
committing to it and like
Yeah.
taking it really seriously.
Luka was 280 when the season started.
That's crazy that when you told me that, I didn't really even believe it. But I guess he's really, really big. So, and like
Too
he's
much
6'7",
vodka in the
6'8".
off
So
season. Yeah.
Man, riding horses and drinking beer.
I just think it's like a maturity
He's
thing.
280
right?
in the Olympics, dropping 40 points per game.
That's the craziest part. This man was just getting drunk and like eating a bunch of food and was killing everybody. Almost
Yeah, it was like the best player at the Olympics.
My boy got a beer belly, dropping 50
With the dad bod. 21-year-old dad bod.
God damn. That makes me upset, but it's okay. What else is going on? Speaking of dropping 50, that's been happening a lot recently.
Yeah.
Someone has the list. It was like Kevin Durant, LeBron twice, Ja, Tatum,
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
I think it was all 6.
Yeah, because
It's
LeBron
like,
had
you
2.
count
Yeah,
LeBron
LeBron
as
had
2.
Yeah.
That was like in
Crazy.
the past just 2 weeks alone, which is
Yeah.
insane. And there's been other guys getting close because Trey had 47 last night. So
Yeah.
he almost got there.
Josh Hart had 44.
44. Jokic did that thing where he
Blazers
scores like.
they got an interesting squad right now.
Who is that? That was on the Wizards.
Yeah,
So,
that was on the
Makes
Wizards.
sense.
Kind of
Josh
like
Hart to us, man.
took us out the play-in. I think that this weekend kind of like cemented that the Wizards do not have like a play-in push.
I feel
in
like
them.
they weren't really even in the
I
race
don't
in the
think
past
that
few
took us out
weeks.
of the play-in.
Nah,
There's
just
like a 5% chance before this weekend.
yeah. I mean, like they were like number 10, number 11, but then the Hawks won, and now they're like 3.5 games above the Wizards at 10, and the Wizards are at 11. So it's
No
like,
chance.
yeah,
There
there's
was
just
no
no
shot.
chance.
Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as Brad went out,
Yeah, as
they
soon
were
as Brad
pretty
had
much out because
surgery.
they were already on like the cusp when Brad was still playing, and then like the other teams
I
are
don't
just
think-
like better than them right now.
Yeah.
I don't think Porzingis is good enough with
I don't know,
this.
dude. He's been playing kind of good, actually.
Yeah, he has.
If they had Brad
Yeah.
and Porzingis, I
Porzingis
could
is
Yeah.
trust
playing
them to make the play-in,
They had Brad
maybe
and
even win
Porzingis
like the
on
play-in
roster.
game. But
Kuzma,
I would.
Big three.
I would. Put him on higher.
Dude, Kuzma is balling. Kuzma is
Yeah.
balling. I mean,
yeah,
Kuzma's balling, but I mean, I
When
don't
Kyle
know. I
Kuzma
feel like
is your best player, it's
it's rough.
It's rough.
When he's your go-to option late in games.
KCP and Kyle Kuzma are the 1 and 2 on the Wizards right now. Like,
it should not be KCP. I was about to say the Wizard. I see Wizards fans turning on Wes Unseld Jr. because he will not play Rui Hachimura.
Yeah.
He just won't play him.
yeah,
I mean, I don't
And
know, man.
I know how you feel
I'm
about
a big
Rui,
Rui doubter.
which
I
is
feel like
whack,
at this point,
but it
why
doesn't
Why
matter.
not play him though? Like, what do you?
Yeah,
they're
like,
not
what the
doing
fuck?
anything anyways.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
I understand that
like Corey
he
Kispert.
there's a bit of a logjam at his position, but does KCP really need to see the floor like that?
yeah,
No,
exactly.
I don't.
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
Yeah, maybe now that they're like comfortably out of the play-in, maybe he'll start getting.
Yeah, because like
I
the
hope so.
Raptors can like not to like compare to the Raptors, but like if you look at like just positionally, the other day the Raptors like had a lineup that was like Scotty Barnes, Pascal Delano Banton, Chris Boucher, and like another 6'9" guy. Like if they can do that, the Wizards, who have nothing to like hope for, they can just like mess around and like give these guys minutes to like let them get better. I don't
That's
see
true.
like
I mean,
yeah.
I don't disagree with that at all. Like, they should do something crazy just because, like, I mean, they're already out of it now, so they might
The
as
only
well
thing
like
is
experiment.
they are pretty thin at guard,
Yeah,
at the guard position, especially with Brad out.
yeah.
And they traded Spencer,
and Aaron Holiday.
who's going crazy
And
now.
Aaron
By the way,
Holiday.
Yeah.
Man, Spencer is
Yeah,
hooping.
Spencer has been playing way better than I
Crypto
expected.
kid. Makes no sense. Actually, no, it does make sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
He's a secondary playmaker now. You can let Luca be Luca
yeah,
as opposed to
and he's playing off Luca, which is I feel
Yeah.
like great for.
Yeah, him,
Someone
Luka,
like him.
Brunson are like a really good like 3 guards to just have like running stuff. I feel like they can all just like defer to each other and it works really well.
Yeah,
And I guess that trade wasn't that bad. Like I guess like KP's been helping like the Wizard. Like he looks good on the Wizards. It's really just Bertans who
I think
feel
we'll have
like,
to see like next
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
like how
Yeah.
KP and Brad work out.
But like
So
Yeah.
to really
I think
evaluate the trade.
If KP is healthy, I think that they would be kind of solid. I mean,
Yeah, I think there's
Picking
definitely
top.
promise
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
But-
that'd be good.
Is KP going to be healthy for a
No,
full season?
maybe.
No.
no,
So like,
For a full season, no.
no.
but like
enough.
even for like let's say like 80% of the season.
not enough of the season to like make a significant impact.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
a
what I'm like saying.
6-7 seed,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I feel like they could definitely get like the 6-7 seed next year.
Also,
What-
this
Depending
is
on
like,
what other moves.
Yeah.
They bring John Wall
Yeah.
back.
What do you think of the rumors via Andrew Bogut that Bradley Beal is looking to go to Philly this summer?
I did
He was
see that.
weird as
think
coming
that
from
would
Andrew Bogut. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how
is
does he
the
know?
first- Like, who does he
And
know?
I
is
don't know.
he trying to become a reporter? Like, maybe
There was
that's
just like
what
an
he's trying to do.
article that was like
Like
inside
inside
sources. Yeah,
Inside sources.
I used to be an NBA player, so
Yeah.
maybe
I mean,
we'll-
like-
So, even though I didn't play with any of those players. or on those teams.
I know.
I mean,
know.
this might be kind of like off base, but I just don't see Andrew Bogut and Bradley Beal really being like boys.
Yeah, I feel like they're not. They don't seem like very
If I had to
similar
guess, yeah,
type of guys, honestly.
not really.
Okay, this might be a hot take. I don't think that Bradley Beal really makes that team better.
The Sixers?
The Sixers?
Yeah, depending on what they have to give.
It depends what they would have to give.
It would be a sign and trade.
It would have to be a lot. They would have to give up a lot.
I mean, if it's a sign and trade, they wouldn't have to give up too much,
Yeah,
right?
it's a sign and trade. If he's going to walk anyway, then the Wizards would just want to get something for him if he's going to walk, because he wants the Supermax. He's going to sign it with Washington, knowing that he's going to leave. They wouldn't have as much leverage, I don't think.
I don't think it's going to be a sign and trade though.
I say Maxey.
There's no way they're just going to be able to sign Brad in the offseason if they have to give Harden a contract too. So it would have to be a sign and trade, right?
No, exactly. I mean like they're going to sign him and he's going to play. He's not going to get. I don't think he's going to get traded right away.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's different. If he demands a trade after signing, that's different. I'm saying if they go.
I don't think he's going to demand a trade.
Signing and trade.
Dude, I think why? Like why?
Why won't he demand a trade?
He's going to sign the contract and then demand a trade.
Yeah,
I think he wants to be there.
That's like the move. I think he wants the money. I don't think he necessarily like wants to be in DC.
He's not doing
the lock, like if he.
I don't know.
There's like a lot of rumors about like the
know.
locker room, and it feels like it's all Brad just kind of just being like pissy in DC. Like from like what Spencer has said.
He's mad at the city.
I don't know.
I think he's bad of like the organization as a whole, which is fair because they've been really bad.
Yeah, so why would he stay? They're not making any changes this offseason.
Because I think he's like shown that he like really likes playing in DC and like living in DC. He's like said that multiple times, and I think he's like one of the players that you don't like necessarily think he's just like saying that to say it, like kind of like Dame. And I don't know if he would just like demand a trade out of this. I feel like he's not like one of those players. I could see him if he really does want to leave. I think the most likely is that he would just like say that he's not going to re-sign. But I don't think he's gonna like turn down the Supermax. I feel like there's no way.
Yeah,
no shot. And I don't know. I don't think that they would just trade him to Philly and get nothing. If like,
well, they would get something, but not like
nothing.
I don't know if it would be like a traditional like.
Maxey. It'd have to be Maxey and picks.
Maxey picks. They'd probably try and like offload Tobias, like something like that.
Tobias is going to get traded. He's going to get traded.
If we give up Brad for Tobias,
no, it would be more than that. But
if it was like Tobias and Maxey,
I don't want him any part of
Tobias and Maxey.
Leave him out the package.
Why?
Out the package. I mean, he would be like a throw-in, I guess.
What the fuck are we gonna do with Tobias Harris?
That's true.
Nah.
We have 9 power forwards already.
That's true.
We would lose games and get
none of
higher
them can
picks.
dribble. None of them can dribble. Tobias Harris is not what we need.
Yeah, you need a guy that's gonna help you lose games and contract filler.
Tobias does.
I don't know if they would want to give up Tyrese plus other stuff.
They would have to for Brad.
They would have to.
But
and I think they would. I think he would make them better. Honestly, I feel like we haven't seen Brad on like a good team where he doesn't have to play make and can actually be like just a scorer, which he's like best at. And I think like on a team with Embiid and Harden, he would have a lot of room to like shine.
Spot up. Yeah, I mean,
because I think he does a lot of what like Tyrese does, but I think he's just like better. So,
and it's just like
I think
window was,
yeah, their windows match up a lot well too.
Like maybe like solid like 3 years to like win.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you have a real big three, because Tyrese has shown like potential, but he's still like unproven to like a certain extent, and like they're excited for his future, like going forward. But I think they got to make the most of the situation they have now, because you really don't know how long you'll have Harden and Embiid, and like I think they have like maybe like 2-year window where they can win.
Yeah, and one of the things that Morey has always said is like if you can get like a top 20 player, like he would do anything to get a top 20 player.
Yeah,
so, like, I feel like if Brad is like available and he's not giving up Harden or Embiid, I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer in his mind. Like what they do think, because championships, they win a championship now in the next 5-6 years they're terrible. I don't think he's gonna care.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Much investing it right now, so
yeah. And also, like, I think this is kind of crazy to say, but like with Harden, who's like I think one of the best scorers in like NBA history, I don't think he's like a go-to scorer anymore because of how his game has changed. So like the Sixers have to depend on Embiid still for like a bucket most of the time, especially in the playoffs. I think Harden is going to struggle again, because both Embiid and Harden look for calls so much in their game, and that always changes in the playoffs. And I feel like that's like the obvious reason why they struggle.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like
there was
neither
a
of them, I feel like they're like that was exposed in like the Brooklyn Philly game where they were calling it almost like a playoff game, where a lot of like the ticky tack ones that they would get in like a regular, just normal ass game, they weren't getting. So I'm still concerned about like if they can, if like with how the game is called in the playoffs, they can like do well. I think Brad would really help that, honestly.
I think Harden also is just a choker.
Yeah, you just think.
yeah.
I mean, that's also true.
That is also
Like,
very true.
Fouls are a thing, but he also shoots like shit
That's true.
in
Mhm.
big moments. Open shots.
But he's
too.
not like
I
a
don't-
great 3-point shooter, even like when he's doing well. Like when he's doing really well and he's like the Harden that like can score like 60 points, he's getting to the free throw line all the time. And then
Yeah.
like everything else is like comes after that, his driving and even his like step back threes. But he can't do that as much now, and especially in the playoffs. Like that's like one of the reasons that I feel like he drops off so hard. And then Embiid is kind of the same thing, although to a lesser extent. But like Embiid in the playoffs doesn't get the same calls, and Embiid is leading the league in free throws right now, right? I
He
think.
is.
I think so.
His free throws were the only thing that made it not like a 50-point game against the Nets.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he shoot more free throws than the entire Nets team?
I didn't see that, but like I
Not
wouldn't
even
be surprised. I
close.
mean, I feel like he's shooting like 20 free throws like a game, like a lot of the
Not
time.
even close.
I also
And,
think
like-
that, like, in regards to, like, fouls in the playoffs, like with what you said, it's definitely 100% true with Harden's game, but I feel like with Embiid, he's still going to get a lot of those calls, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, not
yeah.
as
No, I
many,
think it's a
but,
lesser extent for Embiid
yeah,
for sure.
because
Yeah,
they have to do, like, he's just unstoppable right now.
yeah,
He actually gets fouled more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Also,
exactly.
For sure.
Real quick.
He definitely draws and like facilitates the contact, but they are actually fouls.
Mhm.
It's not like they're not fouls.
Yeah.
What's your guys' opinion on something? Because I was listening to this today.
Hit
Do you
me.
guys think there should be like a limit of number of games played to be eligible for like first, second, third team? Like obviously MVP, yeah, but like you saying like
think so.
you have to play a certain. What do you think that like what's the number? What
Like, I feel like
what do you guys think?
if you miss like a quarter of the season, it's kind of like you should not be eligible for anything, right? Because like that's a
50
big
games
chunk.
you should play.
Yeah,
Like 50.
I feel like it
More?
shouldn't be like a strict criteria, and it should be kind of left up to the judges to like, because like a player who plays like 60 games could have like a lot more impact than like somebody who played like all 82 games. So I feel like that should be left up to like the discretion of like the voters, because it's not
Yeah.
something you can. I feel like you could make a specific game total, but then there will always be like some cases where like someone like let's say KD
That's what I
plays
was
like a
gonna
little
say.
bit
Yeah.
less than that, and then you're like, oh, he's not first team All NBA or second team or even third team, and I feel like that's why it's hard to have like specific criteria like that. I think.
Because people were saying, they were like, oh, I don't know KD, because I was listening to that this morning. They're like, I don't know if KD should be eligible because he missed so many games, but then like when he comes back, it's like it's still KD.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like if you have to like obviously play more than like 10 or 20 games, but I,
Well,
think
yeah.
I don't think it should be like a super like strict number.
Yeah.
A lot of people like
Those 20 games though, they were crazy.
Those were
Crazy,
insane
bro.
You went insane.
still out there. But like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting.
Because KD right now, I don't think he is eligible for the top scorers. Like I think
He hasn't played enough
somebody
games.
said that in a broadcast where he would be like the fourth top scorer, but he's not eligible for games played.
Yeah.
But then like it would be kind of whack. I feel like he still deserves to be in like one of the All NBA teams.
He'll
based
probably
on,
get,
like,
I
how
don't think he's
he's
gonna get
playing.
first team just because of that, but I think he'll definitely get like second team.
Second.
probably.
Yeah. I think first is gonna be tough this year with the missed games,
First is gonna
But,
be tough with the
yeah.
amount of good players there are. right
especially like the big men who have been like going crazy this year.
Yeah,
Was
like-
he?
it's gonna be hard to take
There's-
it from like Giannis and DeMar first team
There's
just because like
three
they've been like
locks.
on a tear.
Jokic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say
was-
Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid are.
Oh, I forgot it's not
first
like-
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot it's not like
Was-
East West.
Yeah.
Was KD All NBA last year?
I don't remember
He's-
honestly.
He's already played more games this year than
Yeah,
last
he
year.
already has.
I don't think he was last year. Was he?
Let me
Did
check.
research on this?
I'm trying to check right now.
Our research department, please
I got y'all. I got y'all.
Get on the job.
On my second
provide
monitor.
this information.
Basketball
Thank
reference. Stars indicate that they were all NBA.
I think
Yeah.
KD only played like
Yeah.
38 games last year, I want to say.
35.
Oh, yeah. So it's close. But
Close. Stars is all-star now.
It's all-star. Yeah, I don't think he was.
I would doubt it.
I would
he
doubt
was-
it, honestly.
He was not. It was for forwards. It was Kawhi, Giannis, Julius Randle.
Second team.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, he did deserve it. It's just funny looking back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julius almost had a 50-piece the other day. That was also someone. I think he was like 46,
He's been turning
48.
around in
yeah.
the second
He's
or
been
in this
playing well.
last few weeks.
Him and RJ.
Yeah, RJ has
RJ
been
has
going crazy.
He's
I
averaging
feel like
37 over the past month.
this
right?
like last month has changed. Like I feel like the outlook for RJ's career for sure. I feel like he was kind of
100%.
plateauing a little bit. You could obviously still see he had those scoring skills, but now he's like actually putting it together, and it's really cool to see. I'll be excited to see if he can like do it for like a whole season next season.
Definitely.
I think he could,
Yeah.
especially if they ship out Julius.
Yeah, because he has all
I
the
think he
tools.
could.
Like that's why RJ was so hyped up. Like coming into even with like Zion, he was still like considered like an elite prospect who had like similar levels of hype, especially coming out of high school. So I think he could definitely like keep it up next season.
People had him above Zion before, like out of high school.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
college, which is like crazy to think about. But
It's just I think because he had more like scoring
The raw
skill
talent.
and stuff. Yeah, because Zion was always like the athleticism was what caught everyone.
Yeah.
But RJ has always been like a smooth scorer, even if he's been like inefficient in the first few years of his career.
you guys want to get into this top 10?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. So the Ringer, the good people at the Ringer released an article.
Love the Ringer.
yeah.
On
Shout
March
out the
8th.
Ringer for real.
Shout
Shout out
out
the
the
Ringer.
Ringer.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us up for one podcast series.
Yeah.
KOC,
They do a
come on, we'll pay you.
they do a top 25 NBA players in the league this season. So we figured it would be fun to give our own top 10 and maybe react a little bit to the list if we have some extra time after that. So before we do it, I want to say that we are going strictly off performance this season. No legacy, no like, oh, but they were, you know who that is. Like, no, none of that.
No, it's
just
LeBron, the
they're-
GOAT.
But it's more,
Top three.
more
not
like no like, oh, if you could start a franchise with one player, like none of that. Like one playoff game, like nah. It's just like based on this season, who has had the best season?
Sounds good.
All right.
That sounds fair.
Do you guys want to start at 10 or 1?
I think we should
10.
start at okay.
Let's
I was gonna
start
at
10. Let's
1.
build. I
Okay,
feel
we
like.
can do 10. I feel like okay.
You want?
I mean,
I feel like it
like
makes more sense to start at 1 because we'll get more divergent as it goes like later.
but then it builds the.
But I don't
intensity.
know. But we could
But it
we could
builds
start
the
at 10.
intensity.
We could start at 10.
Should we do each of our 10s and then each of our 9s?
Yeah.
Who's your 10, you said? Because
My 10 is my 10 is not. He was at number 12 on the list, and I have Tatum at 10.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, CP3 is definitely a fair shout for number 10. I think the fact that he's been injured definitely hurts. And then also, like, Tatum, scoring wise, has been going, like, insane. His stats, I feel like stats are sometimes overrated, but I think his stats are, like, better than CP3's. I think it's mostly the injury that, like, is really making the differentiation for me because Tatum's been playing the entire season. And a shout out to the Ringer. On their podcast, they said that Jason Tatum's leading the league in defensive win shares, which is kind of surprising.
Crazy.
That is extremely surprising.
Yeah, but I feel like he's like a real two-way player. I feel like that gets overlooked sometimes because he's definitely improved, and he lacks focus sometimes. But he's a really good piece of like one of the best defenses in the league. So I think that's what put him in the top 10 for me.
How many games has Chris Paul missed?
It's
It's
been
missed like 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
and he's gonna miss 3 more weeks. I feel like he's not gonna come back for the regular season because he was gonna miss 6 weeks total for his injury.
Yeah, I think he's out the rest of the regular season.
for sure.
Because if you can believe it, he's only played. Let me do some math.
Quick
He's
maths.
only played 8 less games than Tatum.
Interesting.
7 less games than Tatum this season.
Interesting, but
So-
it's gonna go up just because he's still out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I have Chris Paul at 10.
I also
And I wanted to put him higher, but there's just so many people having like insane seasons.
it's insane.
That
The league is
Yeah.
so
impossible to
stacked
put him higher
right
than
now.
that. I think you just look at the Suns and and what he is able to do and accomplish, because he played 58 games this season, and I don't know their record in those games, but it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
to put it lightly, they are like eight games up on the Grizzlies now, 8.5, and like I don't see them losing that lead anytime soon. So even just like based on what he's done thus far in the season, like I think he's kind of cemented himself as 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like it's
Is that
hard for me
15?
because like I would have him at 11, so it's not like I can say many things to like put him down because he's having a great season and one of the I think one of the signature seasons of his career where he's really really embraced like the playmaker roles so much that he's like averaging a career high in assists. I think just because like the team is like stacked offensively and that's like what they need. So I can definitely see him at 10. I think Tatum is also like the go-to scorer for the Celtics, which kind of makes the difference a little bit. He has to carry them a lot of the time, and it's been ugly at points throughout the season. That's for sure. But I feel like it's because they depend on him so much that sometimes he has like really off nights.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is that I feel like Chris Paul carries the Suns in a different way. Like he's not going crazy scoring 50 points, but like you watch those games, he is in complete control of the entire game.
Yeah.
Like Booker's the scorer, but I don't think anyone would say that Booker is better than Chris Paul.
No, I wouldn't.
At least not right now.
Yeah, I think it's just evidence with how like the team transformed when he got there. I mean, obviously that's been talked to death, but like I think that he just commands so much about the team. Even though, like you said, he's not going to go out there and score 40, but I think that his value is just like so underrated still. So I
from a leadership point of view, I have to agree too. I mean, he made such a big difference, like just in terms of how Phoenix is viewed as like a team with like a lot of the same pieces as they had before. So, see, it's hard for me to argue against Chris Paul because he's so good.
I just think like when he was playing, first I just checked, they were 48-10, which is first of all insane.
Yeah,
but also just like the playmaking, the leadership, and the fact that in the fourth quarter, if you watched the Suns game, it was really just, all right, guys, we played with our food for a little bit. I'm Chris Paul. This game is over. Like it was insane. Like he led the league in like clutch time efficiency and like points up until he got injured. And it's just
a great point.
They're like the number one seed with like I don't see them falling out of it even without Chris Paul. Like he put him up there. They went on like a 20-0 run in January or something, a 19-0 run in like January right before he got injured too.
Yeah.
And I just think like Tatum's like early season inefficiency along with like earlier he was just not a good passer. Like I think now he's getting like to a point where he's like just a much better playmaker, but just overall game wise, I think this season Chris Paul has just done more for the Suns.
Yeah, I think that like and kind of with Tatum's like come on in the past month, 2 months has been crazy, but since we're like we said at the beginning, taking that full season into account, I think that what Chris Paul's value is, I would have Tatum at 11. That's actually where I have.
Yeah, me too.
I think that Chris Paul just like sneaks right in there with
I think we're.
You got a 9, Yusuf.
At 9. Let me look at my list. I have DeMar at 9.
You and me both, brother.
Me too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
which again,
I would love to put him higher, but
having that low,
I can't. I just cannot do it.
Can't.
There are 8 players definitely having a better. Maybe not 8 players definitely, but there's definitely 7 players having a better season, and then the guy at 8, I could switch him around with, but
we have the exact same list.
Yeah. So at 8, I think we all got Ja maybe. No, you got Luka.
I have Luka.
No.
I have Ja at 8.
You have.
I have Luka at 7.
I have Steph Curry at 8.
Steph Curry at 8.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm not that. I feel like I'm not that
this season.
Yeah, we are.
I had to make that extremely clear. Just this season.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know, man.
That's fine. You don't have to agree.
Are they the 3 seed right now? They are, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I just think
who?
The Grizzlies.
That's true.
That's true.
But like,
and I just think just this season, I have to make that extremely clear. I will say it 18 times, but like, I just think Steph is having the worst shooting season since he like became like the MVP, like Steph Curry, and it's like he's still not even that bad. He's still a top 10 player. Obviously, it's like but compared to what he usually does, he's shooting like what 25. He's scoring 25 points a game, like slumping clearly, and I don't know. I just feel like there's other people who are contributing more.
Yeah, it's not crazy. I feel like I wouldn't put him that low just because I think the thing with Ja, I think, is that since he's coming on so strong, it's like everyone's looking at him. I mean, it's like he's a new thing. So, and he's been amazing. Like, I don't want to say that's not true, but I think Steph, even like with a below average season, is so impactful to like win games. Like, I feel like I just really think he's gonna.
Not as many games.
Yeah, that's true. They haven't won as many games. But
I
like,
also think-
I don't know, if Jaren Jackson Jr. was out for like a similar amount of period, a time that
100%.
that Draymond was
Draymond.
out, would they be like
Yeah.
winning the same amount of games?
Yeah,
Probably not.
I think that's kind of like you made the case. I think that with like Draymond being out, it's like so apparent how important he is to that team. So I think that like when you have their full team that's like totally constructed, I don't think it's even close. Like with Steph and Ja right now. But I mean, like you have to, like it's this season. Like when Draymond is playing, are you going to penalize Steph because Draymond's hurt?
No, I'm penalizing Steph because he's not playing as good as Ja.
But is that true though? Is he actually not?
I don't think that's
or
right.
does it like seem like that because Steph's having a below average season and Ja's having
like,
an incredible?
Ja's having the season of his life,
and they're still only like a game or two off each other. It's not like there's like this huge gap between those two teams right now either. That it, like. And I mean, like Jaren Jackson is a crazy like piece to have with you because he's like a top 5 defensive player of the year guy right now. Like, and Ja,
I think he was out like for a similar amount of time that Draymond was out. I feel like Ja would also like, or at least the team as a whole would kind of step back like a little bit just because like those like they're both like so important to their teams. I don't like. I mean, I feel like it's not crazy that Steph's that low, but I just wouldn't agree with it personally. I wanted to put Steph actually at 7, which I feel like is like not even that far, but it's because he's been like he's been like he's been playing pretty rough for his standards.
I have him at 6.
I have him at 6.
I don't think that. I just don't see it. I don't see Steph having a better season than Ja. Yeah. Like you gotta. I understand that the rest of the team is a factor. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
He's in a massive slump.
Yes.
And Ja is like the man. He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's scoring 27.5 points a game, more rebounds, more assists, slightly more turnovers.
See, it's like
shooting better from 2.
It's like fractional in assists and rebounds though. Like it's not like
it's like right. It's like right.
Yeah, it's like right there. And efficiency-wise, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm actually just not going to make this.
And you have to look at like the non stats, like Steph being guarded by 2 people when he crosses half court to open up more.
Yeah, like the effect that he has on the opposing defenses. Like he's been having a slump, but that's because the other team like really has to game plan against him and him only. Like on the Warriors right now.
That's not true.
I think that is true. Like it kind of is true.
Scored like 30 the other
because
night.
He's like playing off of like Steph, who's being like doubled and like tripled.
I'm saying, but like they're not. It's not like he's out there by himself.
Like no, I'm not saying like that. But I'm saying like the defensive game plan is like completely centered around Steph and stopping Steph.
Yeah,
and like
but that's how it is when everyone's healthy anyway.
That's true. But I feel like Draymond does do like a great job of getting him open. I guess Steph, he plays off Draymond so well that it's.
Apologies for those technical difficulties.
My bad.
But the show goes on.
Kyle's dog attacked us.
And
that's it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm playing like, I'm just gonna repeat what I said before.
This is only this season.
Only this season. But I don't think that you get to be like, oh, well, if he had Draymond, then it would be like this, because that's not what it is.
I mean, that's fair. I have to give that one. That's pretty fair.
I don't think they're that far off right
now. Yeah, I mean, I have him at 7, so
they're like right.
I'm
they're
literally
like
one spot. Yeah,
but I think if they did like all NBA teams, I think Ja gets the nod over Steph.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That'll be interesting. I want to see.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. So we're on number 6 or 7 now.
Well, we have to talk about 7. 7 because I had Steph at 7, and I don't know. Where
I
you
have Ja
guys
at 7.
You guys.
I
You
have
have,
Luca at 7.
I have Luca at 7.
I have Luca at 8.
oh, you had Luca at 8.
Yeah.
Interesting. You think Luca?
Dude, I
But
think what
still,
he's doing
like,
right now is like
it's
crazy.
really good, but then it's like the same thing as Jason Tatum, where he came in out of shape. The Mavs were like very on and off. It just didn't seem like he was like that focused, and like he was still putting up numbers, but like he got in shape, and now he's going crazy. So I think he like deserves like a spot in the top 10. I just don't think he's like this season overall. He has not been like that much better than Ja or Steph. Like that's without saying.
No, I mean I have him one spot above Steph, but I
Yeah.
think has been better than both of them. Just because, or the reason I have him above both of them is because I think he does like more, like for the team. I guess is like my reasoning. Like his stats this season, he's averaging 28 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 8.8 assists, which is like LeBron level numbers. And I feel like he's been doing it for a couple seasons, so it's like we just expect it from Luka, but I had him at 6 just because I think he's been going insane, especially in the past 2 months, obviously. But even in the beginning of the season, I feel like he was obviously overweight, and I think he was still a fringe like top 10 player in the league, and now he's like really turned it on, and he's like pushing his way into like the top 5 like conversation. So
Yeah.
that's why I have him at 6.
Yeah, I think recently in the Spencer Dinwiddie era, he he's playing like really, really well, just like absurdly well.
Yeah.
But again, it's like you got to look at the whole season.
Yeah.
And to me, like him and Ja are like right here, like neck and neck. But
Yeah.
I give the nod to Ja because of team success, which might not be fair because the Grizzlies are obviously like a better constructed roster than the Mavericks.
For sure.
100%.
But still, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Do you know Luka is scoring more this season than Ja?
I'm aware.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
And he is getting more rebounds.
And it's
and
nice
assists.
as well.
And
Yeah.
I know, Elijah, I did hear you when you said it's only this season. Trust me. But however, that being said, I think that I'm just kidding. No, I think
this, bro.
just listen. Like with what Luka's doing right now, if he like rides this through to the playoffs, like realistically, the Mavs could make the Western Conference Finals. Like actually, like with the way that he's playing right now, he could single-handedly bring them there. So
I don't think so.
I do.
You don't think so?
You don't think so?
I think they would lose, but I think he could make it the Western Conference Finals on his own, dude. 100%. What team is obviously better in the West other than the Suns?
The Warriors.
No.
Than the Mavericks?
Obviously better?
Yes.
I don't think they are right now.
I don't think they are.
Yeah.
If they're healthy?
I don't think so.
I mean, if they're healthy, probably.
The Mavericks?
Dude, Luka could be the best player on the floor against anybody.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Yes.
Yes.
Luka.
Dallas Mavericks.
I disagree.
And it's all because of Luka, I think.
Literally,
Wholeheartedly disagree.
Luka.
You don't think they could make the Western Conference Finals?
No. I think they could. I don't think they will.
Well, yeah. Like who?
I think the playoffs, you get the game plan for Luka better. You're going to be able to...
Yeah, Luka gets real bad in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
To be
Luka
fair, he was going against one of the best defenders ever 2 years in a row.
Two of the best perimeter defenders ever.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
And still
And he averaged 35,
averaging
10,
35
and 10.
points. Yeah, like
I remember.
this year, like,
Dinwiddie, bro.
yeah.
They have Dinwiddie,
Yeah,
that's
we got
what I'm
Dinwiddie,
saying.
bro. And
He's their
Bertans.
co-star.
Who's going to stop that team, bro? The powerhouse.
Exactly. That's what I'm
The
saying.
Utah Jazz are not stopping that. That'd be like their first. Like, yeah.
I think
it's
they could lose to the Suns. They could lose to the Warriors, the Memphis Grizzlies.
No.
I think that Jokic.
They could lose to the Grizzlies, but they could also beat the Grizzlies.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then if they beat the Grizzlies, what would that be? That would be like, if they played the
That would be
Grizzlies,
second round.
that would be like in the conference finals because they're 3 and 4.
Oh, the Mavs are 3 right now?
Oh no,
Four.
They're 4.
they're 4. The
So
Grizzlies.
they'd have to play the Suns in the second round.
Yeah, that would have to be in the conference finals then.
Yeah.
At least as the standings are now.
Yeah.
But,
Which
like,
they definitely could change.
I think they could lose to the Nuggets. I think they could lose to. Let me see. Who else is there? I think they could lose.
They're not losing to the Jazz. Don't say
I don't.
They could lose to the Jazz.
They're definitely not losing to the Jazz, but I
Don't
also
say that.
don't.
They could easily lose to
They
the Jazz.
could. I mean, they could.
No,
Not
they are-
losing to the Jazz.
They could easily lose to the
Every
Jazz.
team,
No,
every
they-
team you
no.
name, they could lose to. They're not going to lose to the Jazz.
They're not going to lose to the Jazz.
They're not.
I don't think. I feel like that's not true. Like, I don't agree with that. Like they definitely could beat the Jazz could definitely beat them.
Yeah, what are y'all talking about?
Like
I understand Luka is incredible, but he's only one man. I don't know. I think that if the rest of the roster was even like just like a little bit better, I would agree with you. But
the
like
not terrible.
I mean Dinwiddie.
No, but like actually though, like look, and this is I'm not trying to bring the Lakers back up, but like look at like the Lakers and then look
yes,
at like
the
Mavs. No, but
follow the Lakers.
The Mavericks have like a much like if you switch those rosters, bro, the Lakers would be a 4 seed. So like I think that like
what rosters?
The Mavs,
LeBron on the Mavs.
Roster. Yeah, the Lakers would be a 4
Who cares?
I mean, or the I do.
Luka is just like LeBron for real, though.
I'm sorry.
Like for real. So that's 7.
I think the thing that we can move on. I guess.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I would like to book it that the round 1 if the Mavericks play the Jazz, I got the Jazz.
You got the Jazz.
Okay. I'll go 50 on it.
If Rudy's healthy, let me say that. If Rudy's healthy. If Rudy's not healthy, they definitely lose.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, they need Rudy. Yeah.
But if they got Rudy and Donovan, I think they win that series. For sure. Not for sure, but I think
not for sure. Not for sure.
Yeah, like 60%.
65.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
So,
I feel like we kind of glossed.
5.
I feel like we kind of glossed over DeMar, but I mean that's fine.
Because we all agreed that he was 9.
I think also like with DeMar, yeah. I mean, it's like such a like what he's doing is crazy, but like I don't know. Is it an anomaly? You think? Like, is this DeMar? Is this the new DeMar DeRozan?
I don't know. I was talking to Yusuf about this like today. But one thing about like the Bulls that I just can't is like they're like 0 and like 13 against the top 3 seeds in each conference. So it's like he is like helping them like in the regular season, but I don't think he's like a type of like a top 5 is like a guy who like will take you to like a next level, right? And like DeMar is playing really well, but he has like other really good guys around him, and that's like part of the Bulls' success.
Yeah.
Where I just don't think it's like a monumental like crazy like impact on the team.
Yeah, I feel like DeMar, he's been obviously having like one of the best scoring seasons in the NBA, but I feel like that's what he mainly provides, and like the rest of it he kind of relies on his team for like I feel like playmaking for him, and then like he's an okay defender, but he's not like a great defender. And then like when you get to like the top 6-7 guys, they can do like almost everything on the court, so it's like hard to put DeMar in that category. In terms of if it's an anomaly, like I think DeMar is actually like this good of a scorer now. I think he's just worked on his game so much that he's like taken it to this level, and I feel like I could see him do this on the Bulls for like the next few years.
Yeah,
honestly, because it doesn't ever seem like it's a fluke. Like every time he shoots like a mid-range shot, I think it's gonna go in because it almost always does, especially in like clutch moments. He's like always like
so clutch this year.
Dependable. He's really really clutch. So I feel like I could see him do this for like a few more years.
And I think he's improved as a playmaker as well.
100%.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So, but I don't think he's at the level of like the top guys necessarily.
But for what the team needs from him, when everyone's healthy, obviously, but like I feel like everyone can play and make a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the Spurs, DeMar really improved his playmaking because he was kind of he had the ball basically all the time, even with DeJounte. I guess DeJounte was kind of coming up at that point, but DeMar was the main guy in the fourth quarter, so
I mean,
he was playmaking for them.
Almost 7 assists last year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
I just don't think that the Bulls need him to do that.
That's for sure.
That's probably why.
Yeah, that's true.
But either way, this was a little DeMar hiatus.
DeMar tangent.
Shout out to DeMar. Anyway, we were at 6.
Yeah, well, we talked. I had Luke at 6, so we've discussed up to 6. So now at 5.
My 6 was Ja.
Yeah.
My 6 was Ja. Or no, my 6 was Steph. Sorry.
My 6 was Steph.
Yeah, Kyle, it's Steph. So we've talked about up till there. Who do you guys have at 5?
Eli, who do you have at 5?
Yes.
Embiid.
No.
If it's LeBron, I'm gonna smack you.
I got LeBron at 5. I
have LeBron at 5.
Listen,
bro, the defense.
It's the
come
defense.
on, man.
It's
The top five are so close in terms of offensive impact that the defense is really what like separates it for me.
Joker is a great defender.
He really is, bro.
He really
He
is.
is a great defender.
I can't believe you just said that.
He said that he gets back on defense, bro. It's the defense and the effort.
Bro, have you seen the clutch blocks from Jokic this year? He's had like 3 or 4 clutch defensive plays to win the game. And he's really improved as a defender.
Yeah,
he's not ever going to be like a super athletic or like obviously good defender, but I think he's such a smart player that he's like taking it over like on defense too, where he can like just be really good. I don't know. I don't think that's that crazy.
Yeah, Embiid's my 5.
Oh yeah,
Embiid's your 5, and Embiid is my 4.
Yeah, I have Embiid at 4.
But LeBron, yeah, like it's everyone at this in the top.
Wait, do I have
5?
Embiid at 4?
Wait, you have Embiid at 4?
No, I have Embiid at 3.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Okay, I have LeBron at 5. Like I said, just we know who LeBron is, but just this season. This is the lowest I've ever.
And the whole season, even the beginning of the season,
because he's scoring. 30. I am aware,
but he's losing almost every other game.
But he doesn't play. Right. Yo, hear me out, Kyle. Hear me out. He doesn't play defense.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm not
half
even
the
going to
game.
argue with that. He does not.
Half the game.
And what's Giannis averaging? 29.
Probably pretty close to that.
It's like whatever LeBron is averaging minus 0.2.
So it's very close.
Giannis is my 4, by the way. So.
They're all just okay. Oh. Interesting. No, that's fine. That's a fine take. It was like my top 5 was so hard. Besides,
yeah, the top 5 is really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he scores, and he obviously makes. He's fucking LeBron.
He does everything but defend.
I thought one thing that was funny is on the Ringer like list they had the positions as like guard, wing, and big, but for LeBron the position is LeBron.
So accurate.
Or they should give Luka the LeBron position.
They should.
Luka doesn't play center though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He probably could though, honestly.
He probably could look.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he could play it as good as LeBron is.
I feel like Jokic, LeBron, and Luka are the 3 people who could play literally like almost any position.
Luka cries too much to play center.
LeBron doesn't cry that much. Have you seen his body language?
He doesn't play defense, but he stopped crying as much.
I don't know. I
feel like when Russ shoots, LeBron is like very, very obviously on the broadcast.
Yeah,
very disappointed. Since it's LeBron, I know he's like doing it like on purpose. Because he like knows when the cameras are on him, since he's like been in that spotlight for his entire career. So he knows exactly what he's doing all the time.
Yeah. And with how bad the Lakers are,
That's also true. Like the Lakers are way worse than the other 4 teams.
I know it's not his fault. I know it's not his fault.
But I mean, when you get to the top 5 players, like you got to look at the team success.
Okay, so but like I'm not arguing with that, but I am at like if we're looking at the best players, like we said, this season right now, like the best players. We're not doing like MVP, which is like how many games you win, or something like that. We're literally doing the best players.
Yeah, but like this season, if you're one of the best players and your team has a losing record, like how can you be one of the very best players and like your team is not like one of the best teams? Yeah, their team is. I know, and like I still have him at 5, so he's like still. I just think that like the other 4 players who are similar statistically, better defensively, and have like much better teams. Like I feel like it's hard for me to put him under any of those 4.
Yeah, I mean I get that.
Who are in like the prime of their career. Like in terms of impressiveness, what LeBron is doing is like all time great, like impressive because like no one has a season like this at this stage of their career
ever.
But I still think like the other 4 are like in the midst of their prime, like amazing defenders, or at least Jokic is like now an above average defender. The other 3 are amazing defenders, or I guess KD still much better than LeBron.
Is capable.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I just think LeBron is what was I gonna say? I forget.
Damn.
L. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
Forgotten.
So you had Giannis at 4, Yusuf?
No, I had KD at 4.
I have KD at 4.
Who had Giannis at 4?
I had Embiid at 4.
Oh wait, I had KD at 4.
I had Giannis at 4.
Okay.
So
why?
Yeah.
Because I think that this season that Joker, LeBron, and KD have been playing better than
Wow. Very descriptive.
Very interesting.
No, I mean, but seriously, like, when I made, and I'm not even trying to bullshit. Like when I made the list, I was looking at like who was playing the best basketball. I didn't say whose team was the best. Like I know like Kyle LeBron, but like I was actually just looking at like who was playing the best. Like Jokic is obviously playing the best in my opinion. The best
Yeah, I have
basketball player out of
Jokic.
anybody.
I mean,
in the league.
spoiler.
Yeah, I
I
think he's
guess.
one. But like
I do have
think
Jokic
that
at one.
LeBron,
Spoiler.
I think arguably is playing better basketball than everybody but Jokic right now. Like just pure better basketball.
Like
what
on
he's doing
offense, I think you could
on a
definitely
night
argue that.
basis.
On offense, you could argue that for sure. But Giannis is one of the best defenders, like in the league and of all time. So I feel like you can't just like ignore that. I don't know.
And they're
Who'd you have
scoring
at
the
5,
same.
Kyle Embiid?
Huh?
Who'd you have at 5?
My 5 was top 5: Joker, LeBron, KD, Giannis, Embiid.
LeBron at number 2 in the.
All right.
All right.
I feel like the top 5 are so close. It's tough.
Not crazy.
I wouldn't put him. I think the top 4 are kind of like in a tier of their own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like LeBron is right there. I think I feel like I keep saying this, but I really think it's like the defense.
I think LeBron is in that tier, but just clearly of those 5 is the lowest to me. That's if the question was who do I want in a playoff series, I'm definitely taking LeBron over like.
Well, yeah, because then LeBron can try as hard as he can for 7
Yeah.
games instead of like having to like manage
Not
his
like-
energy over
not
a whole
like he's
season.
incapable of playing defense. It's not like he's a
No,
bad
like
defender.
No,
Yeah,
it's
doesn't
that he
do it.
chooses not to.
He does
Yeah.
not want to play defense at all.
Which I get. I
Yeah.
understand. It's
I
a
mean, he has to
marathon,
exert
not a
so
sprint.
much energy.
I mean,
on
LeBron
it,
in his
like,
prime is like one of the best defenders like in NBA history.
He's
So
in his 3rd prime.
yeah, that's
So-
true.
That is
But
true.
but I mean, it is true. Like what you have said. Like you have to think about. I'm not saying this to like make my case for 2, but when you think about it, like in the entire picture of it, he does not have the energy to play defense. Like with how bad, like what he has to do on offense. Like
but that's about like.
I don't
yeah.
disagree that he shouldn't do it, but
No,
the fact
I think-
remains that he doesn't do it.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm not
Like-
arguing with that case. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I understand it. It makes me mad, but like, I understand what he's doing.
Yeah, because he
Like,
can't
on
he
defense,
can't play defense and then like stay healthy for a
450.
whole full season as like a 37-year-old. It's just
Yeah.
like impossible.
I
And
mean,
he's trying to like
barely-
save his energy for like the playoffs where he will have to carry the Lakers on his back again. So
Right.
like it's very understandable,
Yeah.
but still that like hurts his case. I feel
He
like
had 2 50 pieces and they barely won. So like,
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. All right, nah, that's all. I'm done. I'm good.
yeah. All
I'm-
right.
That's all I need.
Well, at 4 I had KD.
Same.
I
Who
can
do you have it for, Eli?
I had Embiid at 4.
Yeah, it's really close between them. I think originally I had KD at 3, and I think the differentiating factor is that the Nets are like the 8 seed, 7 seed.
Yeah,
But that's because he wasn't playing.
that is also true.
Sure. I mean, Embiid has missed some time as well, and if the fact that KD wasn't playing like hurts his value throughout the season, right?
I suppose.
a little bit.
But,
Like his performance this season, like
They were the
if he
one
didn't
seed
play
before he
like
got
these
hurt.
games. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But he didn't
I'm-
play for like the whole season.
You're
So-
right. I make an exception for him though.
Oh, okay, because
When
I
he
mean it is
does play-
KD.
It's KD.
Because
Yeah.
when
But
he
like
does play-
again, we got only this season, so
Yes. Sure.
Yeah.
I think
But this-
Embiid had like turmoil in the beginning of the season, like with the Ben situation, and Tobias has been garbage.
Sure.
So
Garbage.
like, and he's still like carrying them to like one of the best records in the East.
One of.
Yeah,
But
But-
like KD also had like the whole Kyrie thing, and Harden like giving up on him like 20, 30 games into the season.
And that was when he wasn't playing. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I make an exception for KD because when he does play, he's to me the best player in the world. If KD played the same amount of games as Jokic, I would have him number 1. But
that's
He
not
did
that
it.
crazy. Yeah,
so
That's
so I have him number 2.
okay. I mean that's fair. I mean I think that the top 4 for me are like the ones that are really close. I guess I have Jokic clearly at number 1, and then between like Giannis, KD, and Embiid, it's really close. I think.
Yeah. I have Giannis at 2, Embiid at 3, KD at 4.
Yeah, I have Giannis at
Like-
2 as well. I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's been like overlooked low key like this year.
Yeah.
Like he's been having one of the best statistical seasons of his career, and the Bucks have been like turning it around. I think they're the 2 seed in the East now.
Brooke
Yeah.
Lopez comes back tonight.
He does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is kind of huge
Yeah.
for them, bro. Like,
That's actually huge. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
realize. I'm
So
kind
it's
of
like-
down on my Bobby stocks, but
that's fine. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
think, yeah, he's like coming off a back injury. He's
yeah,
like
he'll
35,
be
yeah.
eased in. Yeah, so I'm not really that.
But yeah,
worried.
Giannis going insane after winning Finals MVP last season. Like the
Mhm.
Bucks had a slow start, but like I can give like they had a slow start, but Giannis has been playing like Giannis the entire time. So it's just like
Yeah. So like
That's valid.
Yeah, I get that.
That's valid. So I have Giannis at 3.
yeah. I'm kind of shaky on my Embiid KD ranking now that I'm like talking to you guys about it. Just like after having watched the Brooklyn game, I don't know. See,
Because that's the thing. Like you watch
yeah,
him
that's
play, and you're like, this
yeah,
is the best. He's the best.
yeah.
if we were doing like best player in the league, like taking into like recent history as well, I probably would have KD at like number
Yeah.
one, just because
Yeah.
I think he right
On
now is like
playoffs,
the
too.
best player in the league. If I had to give that title to one person, and if we did like the thing where like you pick one guy for one game, I think you have to pick KD.
KD.
Like I don't think there's any other choice right now. I don't know.
Jokic sometimes
I think
Jokic-
KD
I have-
is like such a
I'm
good
not
scorer in the
disagree with
clutch. Like I feel like,
I would
but
never
Yo-
disagree with that.
I just want to talk about this, but like the other day where Jokic did that, he did that again. Where in the fourth quarter and overtime, this man scored like 30 points.
yeah,
Like
he's
just because
been
they
going
needed
insane.
that win, like that's insane.
Yeah, and he's carrying a
Fucking flashback.
really bad team. I feel like I feel like the roster is it that much different than like the Lakers roster this year?
Who?
Like
Nets?
the remaining guys on the Nets or on the Nuggets? Like the
It's-
second best player this season has been like Will Barton.
And then Aaron Gordon, yeah.
So like Will Barton, Malik Monk, I don't think they're that different
No,
players.
they're
I
not.
think
So-
Will Barton's better than William Monk.
Yeah,
he-
like
yeah.
slightly.
I mean,
But
they're-
this season,
yeah.
Malik Monk has like stepped it up. I feel like.
Monty Morris,
Aaron
like,
Gordon.
Aaron Gordon has been
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
Aaron Gordon's pretty good. I just think Malik Monk didn't like get that much playing time in Charlotte to be like he's not that. Like I think now that he's like a focal. Also, the fact that he's a focal point of the Lakers' offense is terrible. But
He's
the
like-
fact
he's
that
like
like
their main, yeah.
he's their main scorer and he has some huge nights, dude. Like I feel like there are a lot of nights where like Malik Monk really just like kind of like willed them into victory with LeBron.
Yeah.
This man, he's the only one who's liking the season because he just got a fat check from how he
Yeah.
played this year.
He's
So,
been having the opportunity to like
Yeah.
score like more than ever. But I have Jokic at 1. I think it's clear if we're talking about the
Yeah.
season as a whole because he's
Yeah.
played the majority of the season except for the 1 week I think he was out for a wrist. No, he was suspended, right?
He was
then-
suspended for like a game, and then he had like a
missed
wrist
a few
injury.
games with
And
like
he had,
wrist
he
injury.
had like an illness,
a concussion,
non-COVID
yeah.
illness.
headache or
But
something.
he has not missed like serious time, which I guess only him and Giannis, I feel like out of those top guys have not.
Has Giannis missed a game this season?
I think he's rested. He's
He
rested like
missed
back to
two
backs.
games
Okay.
for rest. Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
those are like the two that I had them 1 and 2 because I think they've been playing like at that top level basically all season. So
Yeah, I think with Jokic too, it's like one of the things that's interesting about him is we're talking about like with LeBron and like not the defense and like and with KD and like coming back from injury. I think Jokic is just always at the exact same speed. Like he's like
Mhm.
always playing the exact same every single game, like regardless.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty impressive. Like he's obviously younger, but he's also like in the worst shape out of all of them, and still is able to like do it every single night, which is
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
He just doesn't have bad games. Like he
No,
just doesn't.
His
he
control-
really doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
He never has a bad
Like,
game.
and he plays every game.
Like I'll see him with a stat line like of like let's say like 25, 10, and 7. And that's like a pretty bad game for him.
It's like
I feel
average.
like that's a below average game.
Yeah.
That's like, come on, Jokic, you could have done.
Come on,
more for
Jokic,
me.
you could have done better than that.
Where's the
Like, come
triple?
on.
At least.
Where's the triple double?
But he's definitely like I would say the best player in this like league, right? Like this season.
Yeah, this season.
this
I mean,
regular season, yes.
He's having 13.8 rebounds. Like he's taking his rebounding to like another level.
Yeah.
He's one of, if not the best passer in the league, and then he's an elite scorer with all his. I feel like he doesn't
bag of tricks.
have the same like visual like appeal of like his game like in terms of his scoring, but it's really effective. Like I think
Yeah.
he just pulls out a lot of like weird moves that are not like as flashy as like Giannis and KD, but
But he's got a
Pulled
bag.
out.
he's
yeah,
got a
he pulled
bag
out,
for
like,
sure.
his
Yeah,
entire bag the other night against someone, and I was just
Saw
like,
that.
"Oh, this looks so goofy," but like I knew it was gonna
it's
go
so
in.
goofy. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
He did like a behind
really
the back
goofy.
spin move, like crossover. Like Jokic, what?
It's like I couldn't see like any other player like doing those moves.
yeah,
Like I feel like because he just like kind of I feel like makes it up on the fly almost. I don't know if he like practices all those like weird ones, but I think one time somebody asked him about it, and he said that he kind of like just freestyles, kind of like how Ja. Like I feel like Ja has a simpler style, like when he's driving to the bucket.
yeah. I was listening to the Void episode about him, and Kevin O'Connor was like, I did an interview with him, and I asked him if he practices passing, and
I think
Jokic
that's where I
goes,
heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jokic goes, "Nah, I just kind of throw the ball, and it ends up where I want to." Like,
Yeah, you're blessed.
like
blessed.
that.
Like incredible talent.
Definitely passes practice.
So I think
Yeah, he definitely practices
There's no
for
way he
sure.
doesn't.
Yeah,
I think he has like incredible work ethic. I'm sure
I'm
because
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
like
he does.
it was like always the big concern if he could ever be one of the best players because he's not as athletically gifted as everyone else like in that tier, but he's worked so hard like on his conditioning and his game that like he's able to like be considered, and he might be back-to-back MVP, which
Yeah.
only
Oh.
like a few players can like say.
Yeah.
Speaking of MVP, we're about to watch the Joel Embiid versus Jokic matchup in
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit.
winner wins MVP.
Yeah, winner
I
wins
actually
wins
believe
MVP.
that.
I believe
Yeah.
that, like, because
It probably will be. Yeah, it probably will be.
Because Embiid is coming off like a disgusting L to the Nets, and they almost lost to the Magic last night. Like,
Low key, that like kind of put Embiid on the outside looking in for the MVP.
Yeah, because that game was so
that was a
hyped.
big game.
Yeah.
Big game.
so hype, and they just came
I mean,
in.
Harden played
It's all about narrative.
ferocious, but like,
Yeah, but like they both got to take the.
Bro, they
Speaking of
were.
which, Harden not in the top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really surprised. I don't think.
Kind of
I
crazy.
I'm not that surprised.
Would you have like Harden in the top 15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right outside
Yeah.
top 10. You think?
Yeah.
I'd say
13.
I don't
12,
know.
13.
I would have him like probably
15.
15 to 20 ish.
15.
Yeah,
This list has him below Rudy, and I'm like, come on, bro.
come on.
That's disrespectful.
That's a little-
Does that mean he's below Draymond?
No, not on this list. He's not had as good of a season as like Cat or like Donovan Mitchell or Tatum, obviously.
Yeah.
Jimmy. It's like there's, I don't know.
He's just such a question mark, dude. With like, what Harden are we getting? And like, he's just been so up and down this season. It's like it's hard to like put him somewhere because like
again?
when you get like peak Harden, you're like, oh my god, this is the king of. For me personally, I'm like, oh my god.
But you never get him in the big
I've
games.
never thought that.
Yeah, but you don't get him in
Never
like yeah.
I've
Only
never
against,
thought
like-
that it's about James Harden.
Yeah.
I have. I'm a big
This is the
James
king of
Harden.
basketball.
Only time I thought James Harden was the king of basketball is when I had him on my fantasy team and he was
Yeah.
dropping 60 points per night.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know. It's like again, it's like this season, like just based off how he is playing this season, can't have him that high. As
Yeah.
a player, if I was like, who are the top 10 players? James Harden's there, but like I don't.
Not this year. No, for sure.
But not this season.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good way to transition to talking about like the rest of the list if you guys want.
Yeah, if there's any really bad ones that you want to talk about. I thought this was kind of, it really caught me off guard when I first saw it. But like, what do you guys think of Jaylen Brown on the list?
I don't
He's
think
had a
think
good
it's-
enough
I don't think
season.
I don't think it's as crazy as I thought it was.
Yeah, I
when
don't think it's
first
that
read it.
crazy.
It's like the sticker
Yeah.
shock, but
I don't know. I feel like he's had kind of a rough season. He's pretty inconsistent this season. Like some days he'll drop 50 and then some days he'll like shoot like 5 of 15 or something. And like
Yeah.
he's had a lot of nights like that throughout the season. So I don't know if I feel like I would have to look through it and see who I would put like over him.
yeah, I haven't.
I would
I
studied
mean,
it. I don't
they
think I've
had
looked at him
Pascal out of there. I thought maybe
just looking at their honorable mentions that they've put on here
yeah.
above Jaylen Brown, I would take DeJounte Murray this season.
Mm-hmm.
I would take Bam. I would
Yeah,
take
Bam.
Garland. I would take Pascal.
Yeah.
Maybe LaMelo.
Yeah, but I would definitely take the 3 that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Garland for sure.
Yeah.
And shout out to Jared Allen, but I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Is he the best player on the
No.
Cavs this season?
I don't
No.
think so.
I don't think so.
Is he
And
the
if-
second best player on the Cavs this
Who do you
season?
guys think is the best player on the Cavs this season?
Garland.
Garland. I think
He
Garland.
make this team go.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be bad without him, I think.
I
But
think so too.
Mobley is like right there. I think personally.
Yeah, I think Mobley might be their second best
Yeah,
player.
no, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the presence of an outside shot just kind of makes Mobley like a
Yeah.
little bit more
And
versatile.
he's been going insane since Jared Allen went out, which I guess makes sense because he can play center. But
Yeah. And they have Zach LaVine at 22. I can't say I agree with that.
yeah,
Especially below Jarrett. Like when you look at the players that they have and then the one that's like right below them, it's like I can't agree with this.
what do you guys think of AD on the list?
I
don't
think if
he
you're gonna
should
have
be
him,
on the list.
if you
I
haven't,
don't
yeah, if you have him that
I
low,
don't
he
think
shouldn't be on the list. I
I
don't
don't think
think.
he should be on the list.
He should not be on the list.
Interesting.
I think it's just like he's Anthony Davis type thing. He hasn't played that much, and he's like shooting terribly. Like I said,
18% from 3 this season.
that's double Russ's since the All Star break at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Low bar, but
And it's
but
yeah,
like
and it's yeah.
I feel like
Not
when
much to
AD
work off of.
plays, like AD's not. If he's playing, he's not the 25th or whatever 23rd best player in the NBA. Like if you're gonna have him that low, just
don't
don't
have
even
it
put him
all.
on the
Yeah, I
list.
feel like it's kind of like they should have not had him on if they have like Paul George off. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like they've
it
missed
feels
like
like the
similar amount of times.
criteria is just shifted. Like
Yeah,
from player to player, which is why I
Yeah.
probably believe that's probably why they have Zach that low, but they didn't mention it in the blurb at all. Because I feel like Zach LaVine this season has been so good.
yeah.
Like you're gonna
He's
have
like really
DeMar,
embraced his role like as the second
yeah.
guy off DeMar.
You're gonna have DeMar at 9, but Zach LaVine 22. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Draymond Green, shout out to Draymond Green.
Shout
He's
out
been great.
him.
He's been great this season.
He
He's
has
missed
been
a lot of
great this
games,
season.
too.
I think he would be higher if he didn't miss so many games.
He definitely would be. He's done so much.
This
You
isn't-
can see how evident it is, like how he contributes to winning for him. So
Yeah, because with Steph and Draymond, they're like arguably the best team in the league, and then without Draymond, Steph apparently
They lose to
just can't.
Mavericks though,
Yeah, they lose to the
allegedly.
Yeah, I said
Y'all
they
really think
might
that?
lose to the Magic.
Oh,
Might.
man.
It's
Whatever.
possible.
Wait, what?
It's
what
not
did he
out of
say?
the realm of possibility.
I can't let that go. If
I
I'm
just
wrong,
let
I'm
that go.
wrong. I can admit
Yeah.
when I'm wrong.
Let what go? I missed what you
I
said.
don't see it. That I said. Yusuf said when the Warriors have Draymond and Steph, they're like one of the best. One of the best teams in the league. Is that what
Yeah,
you
that's
said?
what I said. Yeah,
And I said, but they lose to the Mavericks though.
that's
Ironically,
what we were
I
talking
said
about.
that with sarcasm
Yeah,
because I don't believe that.
I mean they could.
They could.
They won't.
They probably won't.
They
Okay.
won't.
Oh,
Probably.
They probably won't.
They'll-
Yeah,
I'll
but
give
they
them
would
a
have
fighting
to.
chance.
They would have
I will-
to make the Western Conference Finals.
I will
so.
put big money on that they would not lose to the Mavericks.
See, I would also put money on the Warriors in that situation,
I put like $5.
but I could be wrong. I've been wrong
before.
before.
Like two roll money.
I've
Just like
been
it's
wrong
like a
before.
fun bet.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
bro.
have been
Lucas
wrong
seems
before.
locked in.
I'm known to be
It's
wrong.
just like
So,
I want to give a quick shout out to an honorable mention. I just think it's cool that he's on here. I don't think he's anywhere near the top 25 in the NBA, but they have McCall Bridges as an honorable mention
Yeah,
on this
so
list.
it's pretty
Shout out
funny.
McCall
Yeah, I saw
Bridges, bro.
man, balling.
Yeah,
the longest arms I've ever seen.
for real. That's like what makes him so great. Or not only thing, but like that's one of his best tools. That he's like a guard or a wait. He's like a wing, but he has like the biggest wingspan of like any
Super
guard that
gadget
I've ever
arms.
seen.
The ultimate 3-and-D player.
And he's perfect for the Suns. Like he's the exact what they need, like in that spot.
hmm
But he's not anywhere close to top 20.
He's like,
Yeah.
is he like probably the best role player in the NBA?
Ooh, best role player.
Is Draymond not a role player?
I feel like
Yeah, Draymond's a star.
your definition of
Draymond's a
role
star.
player is it's tough because you have to look at what you define as a role player.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
stuff.
That's like
Where's the
change
line,
really
bro?
based on the person.
I would count like him as like a focal point of like the Sun system though. So I don't know
Yeah.
if he's like a role
No, I
player.
don't think he's like a focal point at all.
Like
I feel like
defensively.
he's definitely a role player. Like I feel like he plays like a role, and he's like plays around like the other three main guys on the team, in my opinion.
Mm.
Whereas like Draymond is like the guy.
He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's actually a focal point
He's
of the
like the
offense.
second guy.
Yeah, so
He's more important than Clay at this point.
for sure.
And yeah,
Yeah, I guess it would have to be McCall Bridges' best role player, and then
I can't think of one better off the top of my
Yeah.
head. Maybe there is, but
Yeah, shout out Seth Curry, one of the best role
Oh,
players.
Seth Curry,
yeah,
yeah.
Seth Curry's great too.
Yeah.
What else?
That's probably a good place to wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Good spot.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
wrap up. Shout
happy
out to Drew
birthday,
Holiday
Steph.
too.
Oh yeah, shout out
Oh, it is
Steph.
Steph's birthday.
He's turning 34.
33? 34.
34. He's getting up there.
What?
He's getting up there. He's getting
Yeah.
old.
Yo,
Man,
that's
3 years younger than
crazy.
LeBron.
He's getting old.
Crazy.
That's wild. But if you enjoyed this episode, check us out again next week or whenever we end up doing that.
Yeah.
If you listen this far into the episode, thank you. Thank you for getting past our technical difficulties.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you
All
soon.
right. See you soon.
Peace, guys.
Peace.